everybody to HeadKick Audio, episode number 66, I believe is where we are at. In the intros, if you're listening via YouTube, watching via YouTube, of course you're hearing By the Gods. And if you're listening via streaming, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening, that there is Cutthroat Gorgeous. Alright, now, of course, we can't start a show without talking about the sponsor for my show, HKA USA, the best damn sports gear on planet Earth. You can go to their website and place your order. Just use my promo code HKA Audio to get 10% off your entire order. Now let's go ahead and get things started. We got a lot to talk about. I missed last week, and I wasn't going to do one this week either due to the news that I got late last night. Unfortunately, one of my good friends, he passed away. His name is Israel Porter. He was actually going to be, oh shit, I 808'd it. He was actually going to be the producer originally for this show, and he was the drummer for Cutthroat Gorgeous for a long time, and it was tough to hear, and he died a fucking month ago. So, I know he wouldn't want me to not do a show just because of, him passing. He'd want me to continue, just as he'd want all of us to continue. So I'm going to go ahead and, just respect that and go on with the show. But we got a lot to talk about and a short amount of time because my plate is very full today. So since I missed last week, I'll only go over UFC Fight Island number 5, okay, CES 61, Bellator 249, LFA 93, and UFC Fight Island number 6. Okay, so since I missed the one last weekend, and there's quite a bit to talk about and shit, and I know short on time, but I'll go ahead and just get through it as fast as I can. And of course, these Fight Island cards are filled with fighters from all over the world, so I'm gonna struggle with names here. But Tagir Ulanbekov defeated Bruno Silva via unanimous decision. 30-27 and a couple 29-28s. Tracy Cortez defeated Stephanie Egger via unanimous decision. 30-27s across the board. I know my buddy Steve KMMA definitely was watching that one for sure. Okay, Giga Chikadze defeated Omar Morales via unanimous decision. 30-27s across the board. Tony Kelly defeated Ali Al-Casey via UD. 29-28 and a couple 30-27s, and that was a hard one to score. There wasn't a whole lot taking place from what my eyeball saw, but Tony Kelly gets the UD. Now this was probably the biggest takeaway from the entire fight card. Yes, the main event had an excellent finish as well, but this hit the ESPN list. This was the biggest trending KO on Twitter. But Joaquin Buckley defeated Impa Kasanganay via knockout, and it was a spinning back kick to the face. Okay, and it was dope. He throws the body kick, Impa catches it, and he goes to throw it, right? Catch, throw, and Buckley uses that momentum and comes with a spinning back kick right to the dome. And Impa was out. Okay, he was out before he hit the floor. I saw the slow-mo replays. It was fucking disgusting and beautiful at the same time. And look, I picked Impa to win. I think, that guy could be a future champion, but he just, he ran into the spinning back kick of Buckley, and, he won a decent chunk of change, ladies and gentlemen, a decent chunk of change. Okay, that was KO of the night. I don't know how many performance bonuses he won, but I think they were, saying somewhere along the lines of $200,000 just for that KO. That doesn't include his show and win money, and he did it over a tough guy. Okay, Impa Kasanganay is a very, very tough dude. Very, green in the sport, but, shows improvement every time out. And, he took the loss like a champ. I can't spend a whole lot of time on this. All I know is you're probably looking at KO of the year. Probably. All right, and then Chris Daukaus defeated Rodrigo Nascimento via KO in round 1, 45 seconds. Pretty easy work for Daukaus. And then Tom Breeze defeated KB Buller via knockout in the first round. TKO with punches there. Now let's go ahead and move on to the main card. A guy that a lot of people has been, really high on, Yusuf Zalal. He takes his first defeat in the UFC to Topuria, 29-28 across the board there. This was a very grappling heavy affair. It was dope, but Zalal came out on the wrong end of the decision there. Tom Aspinall, or as I like to call him, Baby Frank, defeated Alan Baudot via TKO in round number 1. Easy night for him. Dricus Duplessis, I think, defeated Marcus Perez via KO in the first round. Threw a nice little fucking short left hand while Marcus was in the middle of the spin. Hit the canvas, and that was all she wrote. Marcin Tibura defeated Ben Rothwell via unanimous decision, 29-27s across the board. I thought this was a perfect fight for both guys to see where they're at in the division. One's gonna, continue upward, and the other one's gonna, fall, I guess. And Marcin Tibura, he got it done. In the co-main event, Edson Barboza defeated Makwan Amirkhani via unanimous decision, 30-26, 30-27, and 29-28. So scorecards all over the place. Edson Barboza looked great. He looked really good. Almost vintage form here. And then, of course, in your main event of UFC Fight Island number 5, Corey Sandhagen, I believe, is probably going to be a champion in this division. Defeated Marlon Moraes via TKO. There was a kick and follow-up punches in round number 2. It was a beautiful performance. I thought Marlon Moraes, came out pretty hot and heavy in the first round, but still, watching his energy bar at the bottom of his screen, and didn't go too crazy, but still you see Moraes start to fade after that first round. You can see that he was trying to pace himself for 5 rounds, but he just throws so much heat. I think if he can learn to pull back on his punches a little bit, maybe he's throwing at 80-90%, maybe bring it back down to like 60-70 to conserve that energy so you can go at a consistent pace the entire 5 rounds. But Corey Sandhagen, man, what else can you say about the guy? He doesn't look like a fighter with his shirt on, okay? Even with his shirt off, he doesn't really look like a fighter. He just looks like a really fit guy with some sweet tattoos. But my wife was saying that he looks like the guy that's going to come and fix your internet. And I full-heartedly agree. But, kudos to the winners on this card, and, better luck next time for the losers. Let's move on to CES 61. This is CES's first card since COVID-19 took its, stranglehold on the United States. A good card overall. And, of course, I had the pleasure of speaking with the featured bout winner, Chris Moutinho. So look for that interview probably in the next couple days. Good kid. Really wants to make a name for himself in the sport and, to support his family and stuff. It was a fun interview. I enjoyed it. I had roofers finishing up, putting the final touches, and then the dogs were barking, of course, because they're, hearing all this banging on the roof. So some of that's going to come through on the interview, but you're going to have to suck it up because it's a good one. Okay, Eddie George defeated Frank Mazeppa via TKO in round number 1. Connor Matthews defeated Joshua Merer via rear naked choke in the first round. Jamil Jones defeated Tyler King via KO in round number 1. 3 seconds left in the first round, and I believe this also hit ESPN. This was a huge knockout for Jones. So, good shit. I'm, probably looking at him to be signing with a bigger organization in short order. Okay, Mitch Raposo defeated Matt Almy via unanimous decision, 30-26s, and a single 30-27. So pretty dominant performance there. Chris Moutinho defeated Ashik Ajim via TKO in round number 2. Now look, in round number 1, Moutinho, I know I'm just going so fast, but it's because we have a lot to cover. Whew. Take a deep breath, man. All right. So Moutinho had a rough first round. Ajim put him on his butt at least once, if not a couple times in that fight. He had to deal with a lot of adversity in that fight, and we covered this very well in the interview. But Moutinho, stayed composed. Heavy pressure came out in the second round. Same thing. He was just consistent with his pressure and not backing down. He would take a clean lick to the face, and he would just still come forward. I like this guy. A lot. I'd love to see him on a contender series, or maybe UFC Bellator picks him up on a short notice replacement fight. I don't know, but I like the way this kid fights. He's here to entertain and to win. Okay, so I don't have the link yet because I haven't posted the interview, but like I said, look out for that one. Of course, if you just pay attention to my social medias, you'll find out where and when you can watch that. It'll be on the YouTube for sure. All right, Fabio Charant defeated UG via unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-26, and 29-28. So again, the scorecard's all over the place. But Fabio, the WaterBuffalo, really showing that he's been working on his striking. You know, you see him go for these guillotines that aren't really going anywhere. But, you know, at the same time, this was a great experience for Charant to get in there and mix it up with his striking, gain some confidence on the feet, and, you know, pick up another win here. Now, look, he did miss weight, and he's got to figure that out, but I think he's making improvements in his fight game, and really, at the end of the day, that's all we could ask for. Fix your fucking weight issue, okay, because you can't be fighting at heavyweight if you're a light heavyweight. That just can't happen, okay? I like the kid. You know, I've interviewed him before. Very respectful kid, but like I said, get your weight under control. You could become a problem at light heavyweight. And then in your main card, Nick Ali defeated John Gotti III via unanimous decision. Tough night in the office for Gotti. Okay, this was his first loss of his pro career. You know, his last fight, you know, he had to, you know, dig deep and come out with the win. And in this one, you know, he couldn't pull it off. Now, who knows what kind of COVID training camp he had. I'm not trying to make excuses for the guy, but, you know, he's still very young in his career, and, you know, shit, Nick Ali looked great. Okay, he looked good and, you know, deserved the win here. That is CES 61. Let's go ahead and move on to Bellator 249. I'm just going to go over, let me see, is there anything? Christian Edwards defeated Hamza Salim via rear naked choke on the prelims. Damon Blackshear defeated Mike Kimball via rear naked choke in the prelims. That's a huge win for Blackshear. Now look, Mike Kimball has been pretty inconsistent as of late, but he's very young, he's explosive, he's dynamic. You know, he looked great until he lost, okay? But that's still a big win for Damon Blackshear, and that's, you know, even though the guy's young in his career, Bellator was kind of trying to build this guy up. So, Blackshear, good job. Albert Gonzalez defeated Kastriot Zima via retirement. Now, let's talk about this fight for a brief moment, okay? Gonzalez, at the end of the second round, I believe, he was put in a nasty fucking armbar, and his fucking arm popped in multiple times, probably in multiple places, okay? Zima goes back to the stool, and the doctors go out to look at Gonzalez. And it looks like they're going to wave off the fight that Gonzalez can't fight anymore because of the arm, okay? Understandable. But what had happened is Zima threw in the towel. He threw in the towel before the doctors could stop the fight, so Gonzalez, thinking he was going to walk out with a loss, ends up coming out with a win. It was a fun fight. If you have DAZN or the Bellator app, go back and watch that one because that was pretty cool. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on the prelims. Okay, Syed Awad versus Mandel Nalo declared a no contest. There was a nasty nut shot. Oh, man. And he said he feels like his nutsack was bleeding. Ouch. Okay, ouch. Sucks. Okay, nothing more to say about that. It's pretty early in the round. So we'll move on. Steve Mowry defeated HKA USA alum, sponsored athlete, via knockout in round number 1. Sean Teague was having a lot of problems with the height. Steve Mowry is tall. Okay, had this fight hit the ground, which is what I was looking for. Both these guys are really good submission specialists, and that would have been a lot of fun. But I think Steve Mowry took advantage of the fact that, you know, Teague was having a little bit of trouble finding his range. He was having trouble with the length. He was having trouble with the height. He wasn't able to really mix things up very well because he was dealing with all of these things. So Teague had nice knees up the middle, and he's so damn tall, they clipped him right on the jaw, and, you know, that was all she wrote. In the very first round, Leandro Higo defeated Ricky Bandejas via rear naked choke. Now, I don't know what's going on with Bandejas, man. You know, hot prospect coming out, defeating Conor McGregor, the great value version, and hasn't really done much since. You know, he's got losses to Patrick Mix, he's got losses to, I believe, Juan Archuleta. You know, and his only win in there was a guy that nobody really heard of. So, Ricky Bandejas, you know, although he is a name in the Bellator organization, he needs to figure some shit out. Okay, he recently moved from Jersey to Florida, I believe. So, I don't know. Leandro Higo did miss weight, I believe. So, you know, maybe the size difference was a little bit too much. I don't know. I really, you know, I don't know. But a good win for Leandro Higo in the Bellator organization. And of course, in the main event, you had Chris Jacino Cyborg taking on Arlene Blenko for the women's featherweight title. And history for Cyborg. Okay, she netted the first submission victory of her career. Not surprising that she took it to the ground given Blenko's striking prowess. Okay, the girl's really good with the hands. Alright, so it's not surprising at all that we see Cyborg mix things up. Later in her career, she's still able to mix things up and, you know, show new tools. That's fucking incredible. So, good job, Cyborg. Not the outcome I predicted, but definitely the winner I predicted here. Okay? LFA 93. Now, there is one fight in particular I will go on for a hot minute about, and you're just going to have to suck it up. But this was headlined by Aaron Jeffrey and Andre Petrosky. I believe these guys are lightweights, 155%. Okay? But let's go ahead and start from the bottom to the top. Josh De Silveira. I hope I said that right. Silveria defeated Fernando Alvarado via arm triangle choke in round number 3. So late submissions, those are dope. Okay, Carlos Hernandez. I used to have a driver that worked for me named Carlos Hernandez. So I'm pretty sure I picked him to win. Just because of his fucking name. Not because of anything else, but because I like Carlos. Carlos is a good dude. Okay, anyways, he defeats Trevor Wells via unanimous decision. Justin Wetzel, man. Okay, this guy was supposed to fight last week. His fight his fight was off. Okay, and then he has to fucking cut weight and fight again this week. They gave him a catch weight, and he took on Taché Gautreau, and he grinded out a unanimous decision there, just with a really, really intelligent third round. I can't stress that enough. That third round won him the fight. Okay, so kudos to the pretzel. Elijah Johns, now Baby Johns. This is Miles Johns, UFC bantamweight. This is his little brother. Okay, he defeated Luke Faltersack via unanimous decision, and this fight was good. Both guys decent on the feet, decent takedowns from Faltersack. Great takedown defense from Johns. But look, you're not gonna take that guy down. Miles is probably one of the best wrestlers, like just MMA wrestlers in the bantamweight division, and that's his big brother. You know what I mean? So good luck getting this guy down and keeping him down. Because when you got Big Brother on top of you, and I'm not talking about the government, I'm talking about Miles Johns, you know what I mean? You're going to be able to stuff some shit. Okay? So Elijah Johns looked absolutely phenomenal. Cannot wait to see that guy fight again. 7-1 overall now. You know, that's probably, if the UFC don't jump on that kid soon, Bellator's going to scoop him up. For sure. Josh Frem defeated Antonio Jones via TKO in round number 1. That's it. It's pretty easy. Just nice little win there. Alright, now check this out. In the co-main event of LFA 93, Sam Page Hughes. Now look, I have her on the show all the time. Because I really like this chick. Okay? And LFA knows it. So when they get announcements, they let me know. Saying, hey, Sam's booked. Go ahead and interview her. Okay? They really take care of me in that aspect. You know, Sam's a good chick. I really like her, and she's a fucking scary ass fighter. Her forward pressure, you know, just the way she mixes things up, not afraid to get hit, you know, not afraid to, you know, get into grappling exchanges, you know, given her first loss. And, you know, she was fighting another submission specialist. You know, and this girl had submissions from all over the place. You know what I mean? I think she was 4-0 or 4-1, and every single win she had was via a different submission. So that shows that she's decent on the ground. The brown belt says that, okay? And Sam Hughes, you know, just comes in and, you know, just uses her striking, distance management, you know, her power, her forward pressure, doing her thing. You know, she looked like she didn't miss a fucking beat from her last fight. Okay, she fought Vanessa Demopoulos for the inaugural strawweight title, and she was beating the brakes off of the little monster, before she threw up the Hail Mary submission. Okay, and that one hurt. But, you know, Sam Hughes comes back and just, like I said, picks up right where she left off. She just starts beating on this girl. The girl's trying to fucking pull guard, do everything she can, and nothing doing. And then, you know, she tries to go in for a takedown. Sam, you know, fucking locks up the submission. And at the fucking buzzer, I believe there might have been like 5 seconds left. I'm not sure. But she fucking puts this girl out cold with a fucking power guillotine. I mean, that shit was nasty. That shit was nasty. And she was laid out like, you know what I mean? Perfect. Perfect for Halloween. There's bodies everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But Sam looked great. And I was excited. I was actually at practice and the guys were leaving. And I'm like, oh, bro, if you got to go, I'll sit in my car and watch this shit. No worries, man. I'm not going nowhere. Okay? And, you know, she won and I'm, you know, fucking yelling. And they're like, yo, everything all right? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, she win? And I'm like, fuck yeah. And so they're all happy for me and shit, you know, yeah. But look, Sam Hughes, I have so many interviews from her on my YouTube channel, so go check those out. Go check those out. I should probably stop talking about Sam Hughes for a minute. Don't worry, she knows I'm a fanboy. It's all good. It's all good. In the main event of LFA 93, Aaron Jeffrey defeated Andrade Petrosky via knee, the pink, and punches. Okay, and late in round 2, solid win, great main event. Two guys, you know, starting to make some noise in their division, and you know, I didn't get to catch it live, so I had to catch the replay because of course Sam Hughes wins. I watched the interview and then, you know, I proceed to my next destination. So I wasn't like all in on this fight because I was all in on the co-main event, but it was still a good fight, great main event, and LFA, you know, just keeps pumping out these shows, you know, showing off these prospects, these young up-and-coming fighters that are just, you know, trying to get to the next stage, and they're preparing them very well. You know what I mean? There's a great card overall, lots of finishes. You know, so I can't say enough good things about LFA. Like I said, great main event, great co-main event, and great card overall. I'm fully satisfied. Okay? And that is a nice segue into UFC Fight Island number 6. This was headlined by the Korean Zombie and T-City. Okay, so TKZ and T-City. How about that? Okay, again, let me see where we're at in time, because I hope I haven't been going too... Yeah, no. Okay, Syed Nurmagomedov defeated Mark Striegel via TKO in round number 1. So that got me 1 on the board. Sweet. Flyweights, nice little knockout, a finish, you know, flyweights go finish. Yeah, whatever, they finish. Okay, Maxim Grishin defeated Gatsumi... I always have a problem with this one. You'd think I figured it out right now. By now. Gatsimurad Antigulov. Okay? Via TKO in round number 2. It was late. He was throwing a lot of punches. Not any of them were super damaging, but it was the accumulation, you know, and Gulov wasn't really doing much. So, gotta give it to Grishin there. Farazzian defeated Jamie Malarkey via unanimous decision, and I think this was the one where I was like, huh? I don't know about that one. You know what I mean? But what can you do? John Young Park defeated John Phillips via unanimous decision, 30-25s across the board. Yawn. You would think that fight was just a beatdown. It really wasn't. That's all I'm going to say. Jillian Robertson defeated Poliana Botello via unanimous decision. And it looked like Jillian was looking for a TKO finish. That's what it looked like. I, myself, and former co-host Crazy J, he was with me last night, or not last night, but while we were watching the fights. Yeah, she gave up so many submissions, and Crazy J, the white belt, the MMA white belt, was just like, why didn't she take her arm there? That triangle choke is right there. The arm triangle choke's right there. What is she doing? You know what I mean? So, I think she was looking for a TKO finish. She wanted a knockout. Okay, and then Guram Kutladze defeated Matus Gamrat via split decision. Okay. You know, judges were all over the place. So I'm really glad that a lot of these fights, ended within the distance. Not a big fan of mixed scorecards and split decisions. I mean, the fight's got to be really close. That Gamrot one it wasn't super close, but, hey, what are you going to do? Jonathan Martinez defeats Thomas Almeida via unanimous decision, 30-27 across the board. Now, the Dragon looked phenomenal against a guy that everybody thought was going to be the next Renan Barão. I shit you not. Everybody was high on this kid. He's even got a win over Anthony Burchak. That's my guy, okay? But since his loss to Cody Garbrandt, he hasn't really looked the same, okay? Now, this was his first fight in a couple years, so there could have been some ring rust. I mean, he didn't look bad, but he didn't look great. You know what I'm saying? The Dragon just looked fucking phenomenal. Great fucking win. And then the James Krause stepping in on short notice, taking on Claudio Silva. Claudio had never lost in the UFC, 14-1 overall. A little bit older, okay, but always fucking finds a way to win. And Krause just wasn't having it. Looked absolutely phenomenal. Won every single round. Won 99% of the striking exchanges. Wouldn't get put down on his butt. If he did, poof, right back up. Very, very good fight from Krause. And, some gangster ass shit. Just doing what Krause does. Taking fights on short notice. The last one he took against, I think he might have been Trevor Giles. I thought he won that one. He was at like middleweight or some shit. He weighed in at like 180 or 182 or some shit like that. But Krause is the fucking man. Okay? There's a reason why he's on the fucking main card. Okay? Jimmy Crute defeated Modestas Bukauskas via knockout in round number 1. That was dope. Now, Frosty Tips, I think he got woken up when his head hit the fucking fence. I think that's what me and Jay were saying. So, I mean, as soon as he hits the fucking ground, boom, he's awake again, and he's protesting. But Crute just, the gentleman that he is, sees that, hey, the fight's over, puts his arm around him, says, hey, man, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. And, Bukauskas can, just go back to the drawing board and work on his defense because he was getting tagged up pretty good by Crute. And that's not somebody you want to get tagged up by. Crute is a fucking powerhouse. Fucking love Crute. Somebody in our chat for the MCCI was just saying, I am Crute. A play on Crute from the Avengers. Anyway, Jessica Andrade defeated Caitlin Chukagian via body shot. Okay, there was a wild exchange, and then she boop, hits her to the body. Chukagian immediately fucking gets the fuck out of there, holding her fucking stomach, and she's breathing real fucking heavy because that body shot hurt. Okay, that's not something you want to do against Andrade, because what does she do? She goes back to the well and fucking puts you away. That's exactly what she did. Now, I'm going to be quite frank with you. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I did not give a fuck who won this fight. I wasn't really interested in this fight, and how it was the co-main event, probably just because Andrade was a former champ. Okay, but I wasn't really into this fight. So I'll go ahead and skip over to the main card. The main event. Okay, TKZ versus T-City. There was a little bit of bad blood. There was a little bit of bad blood in this fight. Okay, Brian, slapped one of the Korean Zombie's friends, and so the Korean Zombie wanted to exact his revenge and kind of just put on a flat performance. I mean, tough as hell, got put on his butt, right back up. Typical Zombie, you know what I mean? It's what zombies fucking do. Okay, and I dig the fucking lockout, the Cranberries. It's on our Halloween playlist. It's going to be at the party on Saturday. But, dude, Brian did look good. I'll give him that. He looked great. It looked like he really put in some work in his time away. Held on to his number 1 spot in the division through his layoff and now after the fact. He's going to have a date with Champ Volkanovski. And, if he fights like this, Volk might have some work to do. He's a lot taller. He's way better at submissions than, Holloway or anybody that Volk has faced. I still think the Champ gets it done. Not sure how. Probably a decision, but I have a feeling the Volk is going to get through this one. But as soon as that date gets announced, I'm sure we'll all be stoked for that. So that'll about wrap up episode number 66. I want to thank you guys for continuously supporting my channel, my content, following me on @HK_AZ for Instagram, @HeadKick Audio for Facebook and Twitter. Again, like, subscribe, do your thing. Check out HKA USA. Them's my boys. Like I said, the best fucking gear. And I have some other customs. Everything is customizable. Okay, we made some custom gloves for a gym, and they came out fucking fantastic, guys. Fucking fantastic. So go check them out @HK_USA for Twitter, and I believe it's a __ for Instagram, and then of course @HKA USA for Facebook. Go check them out. Also, Bink, check out Combat Sports with Rhino. He drops a show every week. He's got a badass fighter every week, does better on the interviews than me. They go 10 rounds with him. It's a fucking awesome show. Go check that out. And now that I'm finished up here, I'm going to go and check out my boy ABZ, Abul. He put out a new video. This is his, what is it? It's a thing. It's a thing. I'm going to move this and see if it stays up cool. So let's see here. We just... Oh shit, what happened? Unpopular Opinions Part 1. So it'll look like that right there. So go check out my boy Abul. He's in England, so right now it's 7:30 his time PM. Okay, so just go check out my guys and look, support any of my MCCIs. Steve K, he does a WMMA podcast. He used to do a daily MMA show, but I don't know if he still does that. And he's got another podcast, MMA Inc., where he interviews fighters talking about their tattoos and stuff. Fucking great show. Of course, Juicy over at Fighting With Myself podcast. That's a good one too. Cyrus King, or what is he going by now these days? Kong. So go check his podcast out, The Combat Corner. I could do shout outs all day. Okay, I really could. But it's time to go. So thank you guys for tuning in. Go check out HKUSA, Cutthroat Gorgeous, By the Gods. All doing big shit, man. All doing big shit. And of course, rest in peace, Israel Porter. Until we meet again.